Hi, I'm Lita Leapin.
And I'm Jim Gordon.
And welcome to another episode of Our City Tonight.
Well, Lita, we're starting the show out here at Hubcast Studios. Hey, we don't want to talk anymore because we got a lot to cover, so let's get right to Our City Tonight.
Well, we're here at Atlas Steak and Fish, one of our favorite steakhouses out here in Burnaby, and we have the pleasure of sitting down with Natalie Bolt. Natalie Bolt, also AKA Penelope Blossom. This might give you a clue.
Nana Rose? Cheryl? You really think that senile crone would be a better guardian than your own mother?
Oh, Mumsy. Enough. I'm off to deliver some nibbles to my Cherie and her chums at the White Worm.
Cheryl, no. You can't go there. Not tonight.
And why, pray tell, not?
Well, Natalie, I know that you've reached stardom with a lot of the movies you've done, and in particular the TV series that's Riverdale. That's so much fun. You are so different than the character that you play, and because we know that personally. But there's a lot of other things right now that are making you excited and passionate, and so we are so happy to have you share that with our city tonight.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, the thing that I've just come back from is my music video that I directed with the Riverdale team who shot it for me. It's called Doll of Torture, and it was done for local Vancouver band The Strange. And so, yeah, I directed that. I have a beautiful dancer called Michaela Nyland in the lead. And it just got into the Big Apple Film Festival in New York, so I just came back from that. And it's got into the LA City Fest in Chicago, Amcord, and so it's being accepted into all these film festivals, which is kind of taking me forward into more of my directing work, which is what I'm really interested in.
Wonderful, and you're very supportive of women directing. I know that. Thanks for just giving a great plug and good push, and you're a good example of that.
I mean, it's a very male-dominated world, and the statistics for female writers and directors have been very, very low, and so we are pushing forward to just, get women in the fore, and I will be one of them. And I mean, we need some balance out there. The female gaze is absolutely vital.
Absolutely. Well, you're a great role model, but I know, because I've had sneak peeks at your comedic side, now you're actually being able to explore that in a huge way. Share that good news with us.
Oh, this is just very, very recently. Last week I got the call, get on a plane in 2 hours. And I went down to LA, and I have a part on the wonderful comedy called Happy Together.
Wow, and who is that with?
That is with, so Happy Together stars Damon Wayans Jr., who is a genius comedian, and Amber Stevens West, absolutely gorgeous. And I play the mother, I'm always the mother, the crazy mother for a change, of Felix Mallard, who is a stunningly gorgeous Australian young breakout actor. And it's based on when Harry Styles of One Direction busted out of his rock star lifestyle and lived in someone's attic to get away from the fans. So that's kind of the premise of it. And we've got Sharon Osbourne on our episode, and James Corbin, has been introduced to the show several times. Yeah. So I'm so excited, and the part I play is absolutely nutty.
What's fun. Now, that is not the end of what you're up to. You are also very involved with...
I'm very involved with palm oil investigations. So the palm oil crisis in Indonesia is very close to my heart because they're eradicating the forests there just for palm oil, which is used in cheap junk food and most products.
Halloween candies. I know I was on a little rampage because of you, sending my friends what candy does not have palm oil, because I truly believe in that. But you're taking a tour.
I'm taking a group of people down to Borneo in December, and we're going to go to the edge of what's left of the rainforest to see the devastation that palm oil companies that are unethical and greedy have done, and they're essentially eradicating orangutans, sun bears, elephants. It's very, very close to my heart, and what I'm doing is just educating people, raising awareness. Please read your ingredients, don't buy palm oil.
Perfect. Now, I know you're a great spokesperson for that. How can people find out more information on that particular?
Just follow me. So I'm at Nat Bolt on Instagram and Twitter, and follow Palm Oil Investigations, POI, on Instagram and Twitter, and also the Orangutan Project. And you can donate. I've actually got a fundraiser going on, and we will present anything that we raise there. And I must just tell you, Vanessa Morgan, who plays Tony Topaz on Riverdale, did lip sync battle, and the $10,000 she won, she donated to the cause. So I love you, Vanessa Morgan, you little angel.
Awesome. Well, thank you for spending time with us today. We always love having you on the show. And
thank you for having me. I love you guys. You're so good for the city.
Thanks, Natalie. Natalie Bolt, and doing so many great things. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Well, Lita and I are downtown at one of the many Donnelly pubs. The very popular Blackbird is where we are, second floor, sitting in the bar. And joining us right now is Miles Verhimis. He is the global brand ambassador. Good to have you here for Lemon Heart and Son.
And rum. I love rum, so I'm super excited about this. I know that Lemon Heart and Son has brought on a new rum. So can you give us a little bit of a description of the new rum that's come on the market?
Sure, it's called Blackpool Spiced Rum, and we launched it late last year, and it's an honest, original spiced rum, and it took us 9 months to develop the recipe.
Ooh.
And it's a very unique rum in that it uses natural spice extracts, and it's barrel aged in bourbon barrels, and it's a pure Demerara from Guyana, and we're really pleased with the recipe, with the rum, and it's a very flavorful rum. It's very aromatic and versatile, and it doubles as a mixing rum and as a standalone sipping spiced rum.
We're dying to try this, and Lita and I always have a rule that we never sample the drink before we go on camera
so
with
we're
someone like I
dying
know.
here.
But before we do sample it, before you tell us what you've made us, the first of two drinks we're going to try today, can you talk about this resurgence that rum has had? Is it? I mean, we had a shot of you with the little tiki sign. Is it the tiki culture that's contributed? Tell us why.
Yeah, rum is a very diverse spirit, and it's always been around. But part of what's driving the resurgence is an appreciation for authenticity in diversity. And rum is a very diverse spirit. It's one of the most diverse spirits in the world. And rum still has a long way to go.
Yeah.
But there's so many brands on the market today, and Lemon Heart is one of the most enduring and longest surviving rums of its kind. And it's more relevant today than ever before, in fact.
And when the way you describe it too, it almost sounds like it's healthy for you. I like that.
Well done.
It is. We don't put sugar in our rum.
Well, you've got a lovely, colorful shirt on here. We're going to talk about this first of two cocktails we're going to try. What are we having?
Okay, so the first cocktail here, this was an original tiki drink that was served at the Kuala Lumpur Hilton in 1978. So it was a welcome cocktail that was served for hotel guests as they'd arrive at the hotel.
Right.
This original drink was a jungle bird, and it was unearthed by Jeff Beachbum-Berry in 2002 in his book Intoxicate. And it pretty much went unnoticed for about a decade until a bartender in New York City discovered it back in 2010. So from 2010 until today, it's being riffed by literally every other bar, including tiki bars and craft cocktail bars.
Yeah.
So everybody has their version of a jungle bird. And what's unique about this cocktail is that it's ostensibly a craft cocktail, but it uses rum. It calls for rum.
Yeah.
So a lot of bars that have nothing to do with tiki, they'll have a jungle bird on their menu, and it has Campari. So that's what's interesting. It combines rum and Campari, and it's a 5-ingredient tiki drink, and it's very delicious. It's in sync with modern avant-garde tastes, and we just kind of tweak the proportions a little bit, and we use Lemon Heart Blackpool Spiced Rum as the main rum in the drink.
And so this one, instead of called Jungle Bird, is called a Blackbird.
Right, which pays homage to the Blackpool Spiced Rum.
Excellent.
All
Well,
right.
okay, I've waited long enough. Oh, that is absolutely delicious. Congratulations on a...
Nice.
So it's bitter and it's sweet.
Oh, you can taste the Campari a little bit, but no, the rum comes through strong.
Very nice. This is a good start. We've got one more cocktail we're going to try with Miles. That is coming up later in the show, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back here at Blackbird later in Our City Tonight. This episode of Our City Tonight has been sponsored in part by Gyrostone Limited, home exteriors that last a lifetime.
This edition of On the Town is brought to you by Genesis Richmond, a new kind of all-inclusive luxury experience.
Well, for this edition of On the Town, we find ourselves down in Cole Harbor at the always glamorous Westin Bayshore Hotel.
For the extraordinary Emilia Romagna dinner put on by the Italian Chamber of Commerce and the Italian Consulate. It's just an incredible dinner, and it's celebrating International Italian Cuisine Week.
I think we're going to eat really well tonight. Now, we know this because we love Italian food, but also we were here last year as your hosts, and we covered the event. So let's go check out the party, and then we'll get on stage. Okay, Lita, tell us, our viewers and me, what we're looking at right now.
We're looking at a wheel of Parma Reggiano, absolutely the real thing. And I was there last year with the Italian Chamber of Commerce, sent me on the educational tour, the True Italian Taste, and I got to go to the factory and see how this was made. I can't wait for them to show us, as they open this up, what's inside.
Well, there's going to be cheese in there, right? I don't know if it's
Don't tell everyone.
Oh, sorry.
Jeff.
Okay. Well, one of the cool things about emceeing this event this year, again, is we get to sneak in here before the crowd comes in, and before we eat a huge meal, we're enjoying some gelato, because that's who we are.
And this is Uno Gelato. They've been around for a while. They got a great story. And can you give us a little peek about the story?
Yeah, tell us, Jameson, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Uno Gelato is a Vancouver-based company. Our home location is in Kitsilano, where all the gelato is made and produced. We have two other locations, one at Stamps Landing and one at Burrard Landing as well, at the Convention Center. Yeah, we're looking forward to the year ahead, and hopefully the weather turns good soon.
No.
Well, but you've got some incredible flavors, and it really does set itself apart from a lot of the gelato
Yeah, what are you having
places.
there, Lee?
You're
Pear.
having, the pear sorbetto, so it is a vegan flavor with the Italian pears that we brought in. And
Yeah.
you have tried the Italian Amareno cherry.
Which is gulping down.
I'm gulping down. You can tell I'm a little hungry, actually. This is great. Thanks for the snack before we get into the evening ahead.
Chelsea, this is always just such an incredible event that the Italian Chamber is a part of. Tell us why it's so important to have the True Italian Taste and the extraordinary Emilia Romagna dinners.
Okay. Well, you know, the thing is a lot of these products that are produced in Italy and all parts of Europe for that matter represent centuries and generations of artisanry and craftsmanship. So whether it's the Parmigiano like I've got here, or a great wine, or a product like prosciutto, or even out of the UK like a Stilton cheese, or champagne from France, those represent generations and centuries of craftsmanship and workmanship that gone into them. They're very unique products, so it's important to protect those brands, to protect the workmanship, so that when people buy the product here, they know they're getting the real thing. They're not getting an imitation.
Absolutely, and I went to Italy for you guys last
course.
year, and I got to taste so much of the real thing, and I understand why you're defending that. Now, this campaign only started in 2016. What do you see the vision for the campaign?
I think the campaign will continue because, you know, they're beginning to recognize that this education of the Canadian public, American public, or, you know, other publics in the world is very important because everybody wants to be assured when they're shopping, when they're buying something, they're buying the best things for their family. And if they're going to be spending good money, they want to make sure they get the real thing. You know, it's like the old Coca-Cola commercial. It's the real thing. Well, this is the real thing when you're talking about Parmigiano, or if you're talking about a fine Chianti, or if you're talking about a champagne.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for spending some time. We've got people are starting to get into the dinner here, and we're gonna enjoy it.
Ok, grazie, buon appetito, buon divertimento. E alla prossima.
You know, Lita can talk to all the big important consulate people, but I talk to the people that really matter, the chefs. And this is one of the best one. I kid her. This is one of Lita's favorite chefs, one of mine. Giovanni, talk about your involvement here tonight.
Well, I'm one of the guys come here to help the Italian Chamber of Commerce. Usually I'm the prosciutto slicer because I'm become an expert in the slice of prosciutto.
You do a lot more than that. Talk about how the food scene has really developed here in Vancouver over the years. You've been around a long time.
Yeah, I start to get really, really involved. People that start to know a little bit more about Italian food, perhaps. They want to know more, so it's not just eating, but they want to know the culture and what's the background of the prosciutto, like a prosciutto, the Parmigiano.
Now, would it be rude if while you're talking still, I took some of this to eat while you're talking?
No, you should. Let me slice a couple slices for you.
Oh, I get two. Okay. One last question for you.
Yes.
Talk about the association that you belong to, a little more about them.
Well, my association is based in Italy, and in Canada we have a few guys from Italy, and not only from Italy, but even Canadian chefs that study Italian cuisine. So we try to enlarge not only Italian chef, but Canadian too. And we try to filter the Italian product. We try to teach them the right pronunciation and the concept of Italian product.
You're a good man. Always like talking to you. Lita will be jealous that I got to talk to you tonight, but congratulations and continued success.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you. Check it. Bye.
We're delighted to be back here again this year as your hosts and your media representatives.
This edition of On the Town has been brought to you by Genesis Richmond, a new kind of all-inclusive luxury experience.
Well, welcome back to Hubcast Studios, and we hope you're enjoying the show.
Yes, and we also invite your comments or questions. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Our City Tonight TV, and you can also see past episodes on our YouTube channel.
So let's get back to Our City Tonight. Well, Our City Tonight is here in Yaletown. We're way up, actually, overlooking this gorgeous city, and we're lucky to be here with Mary Silva. Mary Silva is one of Vancouver's own celebrities, but you didn't start in Vancouver. You've got a degree in broadcast journalism. Maybe a lot of people don't know your background. You've been a producer, writer. You're an award-winning singer with 7 top Billboard hits, as well as a #1 in the UK. And we have to mention your little stint, large stint that took you global with the Housewives. You are known as Vancouver's sweetheart. I guess it was a bittersweet experience, but you're doing a lot now. Can you share what's happening in your life right now that's so exciting?
So many exciting things happening right now, and thank you for saying all that. That was so nice of you. And I forgot all these things I've done. Housewives was this 2-year stint. I'm glad it's over. It was a learning experience, and we're moving on. Right now, I'm involved in a lot of things. One is my podcast.
Yes, we're excited. Eat, drink, and be merry.
Eat, drink, and be merry, and all the guests love it because they have to be drinking, and I usually have snacks, and they're just being happy.
Well, so we want to be on.
Oh, we'll have to have you guys on. It's been a project for me that I've loved, and I'm so happy that podcasts are out there because it gives you an opportunity to really interview people at a longer length of time, where you get to know them, and it's casual. And it's not stuffy, so you can talk about anything. So we've had some exciting guests and a lot more to come, but I think I have about 20 interviews in the can so far.
Wonderful. Now, where can people watch your podcast? I hear it's everywhere now.
Yeah, it's everywhere. We're on like 7 different podcast channels or platforms, and the main one is iTunes. I think it's very easily accessible for everyone to get to listen to it up on iTunes, but there are others. They're on all of my websites and all of my social media. You can find out where that is. But really interesting guests, and I think people will be excited to see the array of guests that I have from, you know, Christina Kiesel, who was one of my castmates on The Real Housewives of Vancouver. She kind of disappeared for a while, but I found her, interviewed her. Roxy,
so you're a detective too.
I'm a detective, that's right.
That on your
I found
resume.
her. And so I interviewed her down in South Carolina, and then I had Roxy Earle from The Real Housewives of Toronto, Rick Campanelli, Entertainment Tonight. So some really great guests, as well as a female police officer that was really badass, I have to say.
I know that you're focusing a little bit on women. I guess it's sort of the atmosphere right now, and it's great showcasing. But you also have some room for some guys in there as well.
Yeah, we've got a few guys in there, and it's interesting. I've got some doctors, some surgeons. I initially started out wanting to do things just for women, like women over 35, and focus on that, and focus on guests that would be entertaining and educational to women over 35. But it's kind of mixed around because I've got a lot of people who wanted to be on it, and I thought, okay, as long as you can talk about women, I'll let you on.
Perfect. Well, we're excited to have you with us today. We appreciate you spending some time. We're looking forward to seeing more of these podcasts. It's a great, it's something definitely going global, and I know you're getting courted by a few.
I am. So that's really great.
So that's excellent. Well, congratulations on all your hard work. We look forward to having you maybe back in our studio.
I would love to. I'd love to.
We'll definitely do this again.
Thank
Mary
you so much.
Eat, Drink, and Be Merry. Definitely check out her great podcast with some great guests.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Blackbird Public House, one of the many Donnelly places that is open for business here in the city. We're with Miles Verhimis, who is the global ambassador since 2017. Am I right on that?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Lemon Heart and Son, and we're here to talk rum again.
Rum, yes, and rum has been around a long time, but you have a very interesting history with Lemon Heart and Son. Can you give us a little bit of it? More of the history so our viewers can hear.
Yeah, well, Lemon Heart is a true legacy brand. It's been around since 1804, so it's a little under
1804.
215 years old, and it was actually one of the first branded rums. So before 1900, you couldn't purchase rum in a bottle with a label. It was mostly strictly a barrel trade business.
Okay.
Like the pirates.
Pretty much. So Lemon Heart started off life in 1804 in Cornwall in England, in a little place called Penzance. And then they moved to the London docks during the Second World War. And then they got bombed during the Blitzkrieg, and then they formed United Rum Merchants. So the brand has a genuine legacy and authenticity and history that stretches back over 200 years.
Wow, they really have survived.
Right, and the actual name of the individual was Lehman, and it was abbreviated to Lemon Heart.
Oh, interesting.
A little known fact there.
Nothing to do with lemon in the rum.
No, nothing at all. So Lemon Heart was an abbreviation of Mr. Lehman Hart, who was the original founder and owner.
And we should also say our viewers always like to hear this. Canadian-owned company since 2010, It's very cool.
It's owned by Mosaic, which is a Canadian-based company since 2010.
All right.
And,
excellent.
When we picked up the brand, we did a Return to Heritage initiative where we put everything back in the Caribbean. So the distilling, the aging, and the blending all takes place at a single estate distillery in Guyana.
Okay.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I always like supporting Canada. And so what do we have in front of us?
Yeah, so this is a riff on a Manhattan. It's a 3-part simple stirred cocktail. So we're using 2 ounces of Lemon Heart Blackpool spiced rum.
Your new rum.
The new rum.
The new rum, right.
Right, and then we're putting about a teaspoon of sweet vermouth and hitting it with a dash of Angostura bitters. And it just works wonderfully together. It's a perfect balance. It's very smooth, and all the flavors kind of come together in perfect harmony. So it's an interesting new take on a Manhattan. But the key to this drink is the spice extract that we're using in the spiced rum.
Oh, excellent. And it'll definitely give some competition to the typical cocktails out there.
Well, yeah, it's a very unique spiced rum.
Oh.
I like that more than a Manhattan.
Yeah.
That is really
A lot of
delicious.
ginger, black pepper, leather, tobacco, smoked tea. A lot of brown notes in this rum, and that's what's very characteristic about Demerara rums.
Oh, that's delicious.
That's sitting in front of a fireplace, kind of great drink, a cozy drink.
Yeah, and you've given us 2 very different drinks, both excellent. Can you, for our viewers that may be wondering where they can find out more information on you guys, where can they find that?
Yeah, you can go to our website, lemonheartrum.com. You can find more information about the companies, and we have recipes listed online. And we update the site regularly. So if you go there and visit, you'll see new recipes and information about the company as well.
Wonderful.
Very nice. Listen, thank you. This has just got holiday written all over the holiday season. Anyway,
Completely.
first of all, welcome to Vancouver. Thank you for joining us. I know you got a tasting you're going to do in a few seconds. So he is, Miles Verhimis, he is the global ambassador of Lemon Heart and Son. And thank you for joining us here today at Blackbird.
Oh, thank you
Cheers.
for having me.
Thanks for the
Cheers.
drinks, more importantly.
You're welcome.
Cheers. Well, here I am where I get what's left of my haircut. I'm with Bobo, the owner of Bobos Philosophy. We've been coming to you for a long time. It goes without saying that I want some of your hair, but we'll talk about that in another segment. In all seriousness, is what guys are doing more of, and you service a lot of guy clients here, cut their hair and everything, is that the old days of just going and getting the quick cut and then going and buying generic shampoo and all that stuff, that just isn't the way it is anymore. I know personally that I look after my hair a lot better than I did, say, 10 years ago. Can you talk a bit about what men can do more to protect what they have left?
Well, we do, like with advising clients here and suggesting what they should use, and we're suggesting daily wash hair, where guys have that misconception like, oh, it's not healthy, wash every day. It is, because we getting from pollution, sweating, oiling scalp, and closing the pores on the hair. So use professional shampoos and conditioners. So that helps a lot, especially today guys experiencing a lot, losing hair baldness.
And you also allude to the fact that stress, diet, and all that kind of stuff, but obviously the shampoos can really help. If you're using horrible shampoo, and a lot of those horrible shampoos are advertised quite heavily on television.
Well, they leave residues on your scalp, and just leaving just a builds up on your scalp. It just like doesn't help at all for the growth of the hair. And it's not easy to later styling the hair. You can get the best haircut, but with all those cheap products, like your hair doesn't obey as should have been, like with professional products. So that's why we're advising guys, especially, like how to and which direction to go. Right. And then even though if they start losing hair, what to use to help at least slow down to losing hair. Like, so stress, it's number one, but then products are also like number two.
What about guys, of course, and they're still somewhat reluctant often to admit this, but guys are wearing a lot more stuff in their hair in terms of gel and sculpting and all that. Does that help hurt in terms of looking after your hair?
It does help, like or can hurt so big time. Like, you know, just like with cheap products and stuff like that. That just leaves like some gels, just leaves so much builds up that you cannot even do a wash in 3 washes. So.
Something to look for. Okay, well listen, I know it's great that you treat men here. I come in here and I see as many men, and you've let us in here early before the rush. That's why it looks quiet in the background, but we'll continue to come to you to talk more about hair, because hair is important, and you are the expert to talk to about hair.
Thank you.
Bobo, thank you very much.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks, thank you.
Closed captioning for this episode of Our City Tonight has been brought to you by Gyrostone Limited, home exteriors that last a lifetime.
Well, that concludes another show. That was a lot of fun.
We had a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us. We're back here at Hubcast Studios. I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Lita Leapins.
We'll see you on the next edition of Our City Tonight.
Genesis Richmond. Test drive, purchase, maintenance. They come to you.